Chelsea are back to that top four position. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Vote Sports on Vote 104.3 FM. My name is Godwin. I'm here with the 18 to talk about this game and other games happening around Europe. Good morning, Nonso. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. I heard one of the funniest joke in in football history, and someone said Man United is a community team, while Chelsea is a sole proprietorship team, and even the government of Nigeria has shares at Man United. And I'm like, wow, is this for real? But all the same, good game last night. Interesting football. Though the goal for Tottenham Hotspur was cancelled as a foul in the build-up play, but we get to see good football from Chelsea again.
Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, football maniacs and super fans. Welcome to another exciting edition of your premium sports show. And we have a lot to get into today, so let's get into it.
Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. We are live every morning on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. You can go there, join us, drop your comments, and we'll read your comment live here in the studio. And remember, guys, when you go there, please remember to subscribe to our channel. Okay, let's move over immediately to the Premier League. The Premier League happened yesterday, and Chelsea played the final game of these midweek games. They beat Spurs 1-0 to nil. It was an interesting game. Jackson had that early chance that they hit the bar. It was deflected, and hit the bar, and it came out. Chelsea played well in that game. Sancho obviously played well in that game. Chelsea played well as a team. For me, I think Sancho played well in that game.
Come on now, all the back passes and no take-ons completed.
Generally, that one goal, that game ended 1-0 to nil. Chelsea is back at top four now.
Yeah, they are back at the top four. For me, I think it's a game that was practically skewed by the underperformance of Tottenham rather than Chelsea overperforming on the night. I felt there were a lot of chances that they could have taken that they didn't exploit. And then Chelsea, with the resurgent Cole Palmer also providing some support in the side, you could see that they were better going forward. But that does not cover the fact that you have even a lot of wingers right now in the Premier League that are clueless as to the bare fundamentals of what is required of them as wingers. I'll give you a clear-cut example. Jadon Sancho on the night had an opportunity to go one-on-one with a defender. He turned back and passed the ball backwards, came back deep into the center position and started building the ball forward again. Isn't the role of the winger to exploit the flank to create a crossing opportunity or a cutting opportunity to go take on the defense and score a goal or two? At least that's what the likes of Sterling, that's what the likes of Sane, that's what the likes of the Manes would do. These are classical wingers on the night. And we see wingers, same thing with Martinelli at Arsenal, who are scoffing the core fundamentals of the role, just taking the ball, getting into that 1v1 position, coming back and passing back into midfield. How do you help the team if you keep coming back rather than taking and progressing the ball forward?
Okay, now so if you look at that game generally, you are saying as such you did not play well, depending on how you want to view. But Chelsea did that 3 points, and you could see the joy in Maresca's face after 90 minutes. Because even though he said that even if he doesn't qualify for the Champions League, they will still leave him because they gave him 2 years to actually build up the team. But everybody wants to play the Champions League, and the fans, especially, they don't care what the body is saying. They just want to see Champions League return at Stamford Bridge next season.
Well, the thing is, for me, I felt like Chelsea played an interesting game. You see them play, you see them with the intensity they want to play with. The midfield was okay for me. The defense was top notch. Thank goodness they brought back Chalobah, because we don't know what they would have been by now.
For real, man.
But thank God they brought back Chalobah. Thank God the midfield is working as fine as it could get now. Thank God the team is functioning well, because many of the players that were out on injury are back on the side. And we saw a Sri Lanka take on midfielders. We're talking about take-ons. Sri Lanka took on midfielders and was being stopped on multiple occasions by Chalobah and Kowil. And you say, okay, fine, this is what defenders should do. Stop the strikers from getting into the right positions and getting the goal. We saw Son making the runs and getting past Gusto. The game changed at some point when they introduced Sarr into the game in midfield.
Yeah.
And I felt at that point Tottenham went into the game proper, because at first with Bentancur, Madison and the other players, they were not really giving that vibe of let's defend and let's hit on the break. It was Solanke coming into midfield to drive the ball forward, Son coming into midfield to drive the ball forward, and there was no much creativity, no much spark for Tottenham Hotspur side. But after that sub and after the midfield came in, after the defensive midfielder came in, they got on the goals. Though one of the goals was ruled out for Chelsea for offside, which I said before the game, and before the goal was ruled out. I said, this is an offside now. And they were like, it was the same place Man United did the comeback against Leicester. So I'm like, Man United's case is different. This is offside. VAR should review. And VAR reviewed it. And they delayed it for 3 minutes or so. Just to, they wanted to rig election. They wanted to rig election. But it seems the Tottenham Hotspur fan were not having it. So VAR had to take its time to draw their line. And we're like, draw the line. Until you draw the line, we'll confirm he's onside. And they drew the line and found out that the guy was offside in the build-up play to that goal. And we went forward towards the end of the game, and Tottenham Hotspur came in fighting, getting all the balls they could get, and got the goal.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, we reviewed and saw that it was a kick to the knee of Caicedo, and we had the referee had to call back the action and take away the goal and give him a yellow card. But good game for Tottenham though, even though they lost.
Talking about Palmer, first assist since December. Now he has hit 22 goal and assists so far this season. Good game for him. That lovely cross from him to Fernandes. He created a whole lot of chances in that game. You could see the importance of Palmer being in that team, especially playing behind a striker.
Yes.
Jackson is back. You could see that they have runners. So I think he prefers runners than players that want to join him in the midfield. Players that will spread throughout the wings. That if you look at the way he played well. Lovely cross from me, lovely goal for Fernandes.
Lovely cross from Cole Palmer. I keep saying that, like, we talk about the importance of Odegaard for Arsenal. In Chelsea, you cannot underestimate the importance of Cole Palmer for the team. The manager has oftentimes tried to tinker with the conduit for which passes forward goes through, and a lot of those initiatives have come from Cole Palmer. You can't take it away from him. His record last season speaks for him. His record so far this season speaks for him. I think Jackson with this goal could have tied him on top scorers for Chelsea this season. But if you look at his assist and his goal tally, you see that he's a top performer for the team. And he's playing right where he should be, behind the striker. And then you also have, I feel like I'm more relaxed with Madeke on the flank, because you are sure you are getting somebody who is going to run down that flank, cut in, and create an opportunity. But in this encounter, good game for the side. Nice to see Nico Jackson back. Hopefully a few things are moving up here and there, but I don't think he has nailed down the key players in key positions on the flanks. It's still an open debate who is better from where, and he will keep tinkering with that. But I feel that Pedro should be playing on the left, and then Sancho should play on that same left, coming as a sub, not start, and somebody else playing on the right.
Okay, good game for Chelsea. Interesting game. They missed a whole lot of chances in that game. Maresca was talking after the game about the importance of Enzo Fernandez. Everybody was thinking, we were talking about that on the show the other time, that he goes to Argentina and he plays well for Argentina. He comes back to Chelsea. It's not really like he's not giving like 100% at Chelsea. But Maresca was talking about him yesterday. I said, no matter what happens, that Fernandes will stay at Chelsea. And he was the captain yesterday.
You want to sell 100 million anyhow?
With 8 years contract.
With
If they've done that for other people, they've given 8 years. But it's not new. It's not new,
It's not other people. Other people came in for a cheap 35 million, 40 million.
Name one person that came in for a cheap, yeah.
All of them
for almost 105 million.
105 million. Then Caicedo, now you want to sell like that? You want to run anyhow? You not go work. They go keep him. He must work. You must make it work. Because this guy he came into the side and I think is the top captain, the third captain at some point. Until Chilwell decides that he wants to be in the hospital full time and doesn't want to come to, so they had to promote him to second captain, because his captains for Chelsea were Reece James, Chilwell, and this guy. You get, if Chilwell is not available, then he can wear the captain band. If Reece James and Chilwell is not available, which they spent most of the season in the hospital, and this guy had to just step up. He came into the side, stepped up, did whatever he had to do to make sure that the team is functioning. And whenever he's not in that, see, we take away the credit to Palmer, take away the credit to Caicedo, who was doing all the dirty job for midfield yesterday. You saw him winning all the tackles, same closing down all the runs. It was the N'Golo Kante of the team yesterday. We're talking about Moses Caicedo. Now, this guy, if he's not in the team, there's no spark for creativity, because it is when you give me the ball, I will go forward and create something. You get, and he has to make those runs for Palmer. So I think they fit them. That it's just like this midfield for Arsenal is the perfect combination. This midfield for Chelsea is just like the perfect combination as well. Caicedo,
for
Enzo,
me,
and
for all the talk about
but with this guy not available. Jackson was not available, it felt like there was something missing. The
In the
final
attack,
link
yes,
in the
yes.
chain. Because even though Jackson, we know saying go missing chances, if you give him 70 chances, he go miss 79. Even though na 70 give, he go still miss 79 because you dey wait for the 9 when he go still miss. But you still have the players running in to cover him. And I think the run from Jackson actually disguised the striker or defenders from noticing that Enzo was actually running, making a run behind Jackson. So it's like we are working fine here, but we need somebody to just help us in front so we can create and bury those chances we create.
Just to add to that, when we talk about Jackson in that side, Jackson is one of those strikers that know how to bring other people in into the final third as well, and these guys feed off it as well. And then, if you want to see Fernandez play with a bit more freedom that you see him in Argentina, you need to get somebody else in that side that is going to be willing to sit deep and let this guy move forward. Because let's not forget, prior to coming to Chelsea, he was getting in on the goals elsewhere. And he should be getting in on the goals at Chelsea too, because it's not a one-man show and you can't leave everything up for the young man in the center behind the striker. So he needs to come in with more goals as well.
Okay, like they ended 1 goal to 0, even though the sports coach was complaining about that disallowed goal, that it took time for them to look at that goal and disallow him. He was talking to the press. Angie was saying that soon the AI will start refereeing the games because referees are getting it wrong. But it depends how you see it. If the VAR got it wrong to disallow his goal, that his team's goal or not. But Spurs are not doing well in this season. If you look at where they are on the table, it's just disappointing. Because they had after last season, everybody had more hopes for them, more hopes that they are going to do well in the second season. But they are behind Manchester United. When you are behind Manchester United, that means your own don't finish.
Calm down,
yes.
West Ham is behind Manchester United, so their own don't finish. So that's why he's
calm down. Everton did there. We did there plenty. People did there plenty. Behind Manchester United, we are doing well. Leave Manchester.
your own don't finish. Simple and short.
But look at it now. You know when we said it, that VAR takes away the fun of the game because it get people who go expose. It expose people like us. Where they like use digging elbow. If you want to go score, go first give defender elbow, make him sleep for ground first, before not the ball. So you know when we review by VAR and put it on slow motion, you see the elbow movement and say, fine, this is a foul. But in real time, you're not seeing it. Vidic won many of the area doors like that. Nemanja Vidic, even before the introduction of
talk about Roy Keane, the main
before the introduction of VAR to the game, the Van Dijks that were hailing, you can't take him on and survive. He will give you smackdown. Then you go back in time, the Roy Keanes, the Jan Stamps, all the Man United legends, all I'm not even saying some, all even the Eric Cantona them, all the Man United legends, when they introduced VAR, we know that they were going to expose a lot of things. And for this game, we would have all given the Chelsea the second goal. This goal, in short, without VAR, this game is 2-1.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea got the goal offside, VAR, thanks to VAR. Tottenham Hotspur got the equalizer. All thanks to VAR, they had to review and give Sarr the red yellow card because that tackle was clear-cut reckless. Though he went for the ball, but at the long run, it was reckless because Caicedo got to the ball before him. And when he took the shot off, and the goalkeeper was not even nowhere near the save.
Depending on how you want to see if VAR is depending. Sometimes if you go
if it favor you, then
you
they
not
do
complain,
well.
yes, but sometimes if it doesn't favor you, you have to complain about it. But let's see what happens. Bad news for Chelsea fan because Fafana is injured again. I don't understand the guy. The guy has been on and off since he moved to Chelsea. Yeah, I don't think he has played up to 20 games for Chelsea.
It's sad
Like
to see,
90 minutes. I don't complete 90 minutes for 20 games. He's going to be assessed in the coming days. And every Chelsea fan again went to the social media space and saying that it's time to let him go. But I think so. I think Chelsea can't build on a player that is not available. You cannot build. They bought it for almost 70 million pounds.
I like the fact that you're saying this now, right? Where have they been when Rhys James and Chilwell have been out?
Well,
somehow they have a
free,
somehow they have a free pass to go out injured, come back, go out. Same thing with Luke Shaw over Manchester United. And then Fofana, who was signed to come in and do a job, because of 1 or 2 injuries, he now has to.
It's not because of 1 or 2.
Because he's not British, right? He's not British. It's fine.
See, if I pay
70 million pounds.
Above 50 million
Come
for
on.
you.
Yeah, you're not
Just
playing
like
football.
see, the only person you can fault at Man United right now is Messi Mount, not even Luke Shaw, because Luke Shaw came for cheap also. If I pay more
50
than
million
60,
cheap.
if I pay more than 50
No,
million,
50
wait.
million is cheap,
If I
right?
pay more than 50
Okay.
million for you as a player, if I pay more than 50 million for you as a player, and you decide that your best home or your best your your best workstation is the hospital, bro, you're gonna go. You go and be a doctor. You go and study medicine. You go and study to be a radiologist and be in the hospital full time. So
Let,
no,
let,
you're a
let me give you a
doctor.
clear cut for what I'm talking about. Last season, he played only 15 games in
Yes.
the Premier League.
Mhm.
This season, he has played 14.
Yes.
And he's probably going to be out the rest of the season.
Mhm.
If you combine both seasons, he has played only 29 games. And he did not even complete that. He didn't even start half of these games.
It's
He
not
was
his fault he
introduced.
didn't start. It's the coach's prerogative to start
Because
or
they are trying to
bring
save
him on
him.
as a bench.
They are trying to save him
They are
because
not trying to
this
save
is what
him.
will happen to him if you actually
See,
start
if
playing.
They are
you
not
go,
trying to
if you
save
go
him.
on injury spree like he has done and like Rhys James has done, and you come back from
Look at
injury,
it, just didn't play this game. They are trying to protect
and you
him.
come back from injury and they put you straight into the first 11. Trust me, after 2 or 3 games and you play 90 minutes, you're going back to the hospital. It's straight up. You're going back to the hospital, and you're going to spend time again. So you come in, you introduce him 30 minutes gradually until like after 5 games, and you can now start him for like 2 or 3 games. Then you put him on the bench again for another 3 games for 30 minutes. You get that's just the way to manage. And you see when Rhys James came back.
I'm not talking about managing him. I'm talking about bringing him on initially. He was brought on as a sub. He wasn't given his full chance to play
Because
90
he was
minutes for the club.
injured. Because he was injured. He has been out injured for a longer period.
I'm not talking about when he came. Did he come to the club injured? No.
They noticed his injury crisis and decided to.
They didn't notice any injury crisis.
John, even
See,
when now,
I like how
John, look at
we
it.
are going in
Even
this direction.
Even Calafiori, when he came into the Premier League newly, you saw that Arteta for the first 4 games was introducing him in the second half.
He is a new signing now. He has his 9
now. When
weeks.
he came into the Premier League, he was a new signing. So you introduce him small until he picked up that knock.
You signed the guy to come and play centre half, Baba. Yes or no?
Yes.
Give the guy his shot.
Calafiori, why didn't he come and start playing immediately? He came from the bench.
Who did Chelsea defense when this guy came in?
Players choke.
I think Silva was there.
Players choke.
Silva was there.
Thiago Silva was there. There was a Chalobah. There was many
excuse
players
me,
there.
with all due respect, you sign a Fofana
So wait,
that is supposed to be your star centre half, and you tell me that because you have a 39-year-old in the team that you should start from the bench. No. You start the guy you signed to come and play. You start
Bro,
the guy.
You're coming into a new league, into a new democracy.
Baba, leave that thing. Leave that thing. Is it the only centre half that is coming into a new club that was started from the bench? Is it the only
when we
centre
talk about
half?
Calafiori, he said he was okay. Now for
Is it the only
Fofana
centre
is not
half?
okay.
No, is it the only centre half? Calafiori, there were other men in that team.
Let's not.
Calafiori was not signed to come and lead the line for Arsenal. He was signed to come and make up the numbers in that defense. Yes. You have Saliba, you have Gabriel Magalhaes, you have your solid pairing at the back.
In centre half,
and you need Calafiori as an added. You need to have at least 4 centre halves that are of good
at left back.
standing.
What happens?
You have people in the left back position, man.
Okay, well, Fofana
it's because Arteta refuses to work with the likes of Tierney and the rest. That's why he started playing him in that position.
Well, Chelsea fans will have to decide if they are going to, or Chelsea board have to decide if they are going to. What happens, because even if he comes back from injury, who will pay big money for an injured player? So you need to play consistently for Chelsea for a while before they can probably look at selling him from Chelsea, but he's injured again. Let's see what happens. But in this particular game, Chelsea won that game 1-0. Chelsea are back at the top 4. So if you look at league table after this midweek game, Liverpool after 30 games has 73 points. Arsenal is second with 61 points, 12 points behind Liverpool with 8 games to go. Nottingham Forest fairy tale continues after they won that game at the weekend. They are third with 57 points, and Chelsea are back in 4th position with 52 points. How many points? 5 points behind Nottingham Forest. So there's still a chance for them to even still make that top 3, if depending on how Nottingham Forest start playing again. If they start losing games and Chelsea start winning games, they might drop off. It's still an open top 4 competition there. For 5th is Manchester City. Sixth is Newcastle. Seventh is Aston Villa. On the eighth position is Brighton. Ninth is Fulham. 10th is Bournemouth. 11th position is Brentford. 12th is Crystal Palace. 13th is Manchester United. Remember, in the weekend on Sunday, that Manchester derby will happen against Pep's Manchester City. It's going to be an interesting game again. And so Man United are still in 13th position. They still owing us 4 goals. They still have a negative goal difference in the Premier League. They have conceded 41 goals this season and scored only 37. Very poor. Then Spurs are 14th with 34 points. Everton 15th after 30 games with 34 points. West Ham 16th with 34 points. Wolves 29 points after 30 games. And the bottom three is Ipswich Town with 20 points. 19th Leicester City with 17 points. And rock bottom on the table is Southampton with 10 points. Obviously, the last three are going to be relegated because Wolves are 9 points ahead of Ipswich Town. So, except something miraculous happened in that game, then then they might survive, but Wolf is going to survive this Premier League, obviously. Okay, let's start with the Premier League. Bad news for Arsenal because Gabriel was injured in the last game and the scan was done. He's going to be out till the end of the season. That means he's going to miss that Real Madrid game next week. When that news broke yesterday, Arsenal fans was like, ha! Waiting this up here. Oh, we are playing Madrid on Tuesday and Wednesday next week, and he's out. If you look at that, this injury, what do you think is going to affect Arsenal season? Even though that the Premier League is out, then going forward they have to find a way to beat Real Madrid without Gabriel in that defense.
It's not a problem if you ask me. If you ask me on the night, would I rather have Gabriel Magalhaes out or Saka out? I'll say I'd rather have Gabriel out and Saka in. Because if you look at that bench, like I was saying just a few moments ago, you have Calafiori who is available. You also have Kiwior. It's not a problem for me. If
you have Kiwior, you have Calafiori, you have...
Excuse me. If you've been working on this trio in the defensive position and you've been putting in the work to make sure that these guys are compatible with Calafiori in the center, and you've not been working with Calafiori purely as a left fullback, that's when you have a problem. But if the three of them or the four of them have been working together in the center, interchanging in the defense, that shouldn't be a problem for this encounter. That's just my take on the matter.
Do you think that this particular injury is going to affect Arsenal for the
big
rest of
problem? Very huge, humongous, mighty. If you say I speak English now, for call one big grammar now, but I know they speak English. Very big problem for Arsenal. There's what they call defensive pairing in football. If that your twins, that your wife no dey, you get that your yin and yang in defense. If your yang no dey and you put in another person to replace him, bro, the miscommunication will be there at first. You have to need time to train. Though they train together, is Arsenal, they train together. That's what John is saying. So if you have integrated them from the time immemorial or coming forward, you've integrated them. If you don't try to put them together in defense, but you have a Kiwior who we know, so you don't trust them 100%. Kiwior. You have a Julian Timber who can play in that position. Then if Timber comes and play that position, then Ben White is going to play in right back. Now that is Ben White starting against split-footed defense, against split-footed attack, which we know is not really good at starting against split-footed attack, where he can add something going forward for the team. Now you have Julian Timber who can play in center halves alongside Saliba. You have Calafiori who can play there or perhaps play in left back. Now you have players who can play in either positions. Calafiori can play in left back and can play in center half. Timber can play in center half and can play in right back and can play in left back. So you are having tinkerers. Though we know Real Madrid have tinkerers all around the pitch. Real Madrid is a full team of tinkerers because this accident now affects the Real Madrid game. Now Real Madrid is a team of tinkerers in the whole setup, but Arsenal is not. They find it difficult tinkering around and getting results.
Arsenal is not.
They find it when the last time Arsenal tinkered around
Arsenal
crazy. The last time Arsenal tinkered around, they had John. You just let me finish. The last time Arsenal tinkered around, they get Partey go play right back. Abi, they put Moreno for attack striker. Abi, so it was Sterling at first and Trossard when they were experimenting. Trossard and Sterling playing attack, Partey playing at right back. Results were not coming until now that Partey and everybody is playing and they didn't tinker around. The only thing they were tinkering around was with Moreno only up front. because they had one playing from the right, and they had the other guy playing from the left.
Nwaneri,
Mm-hmm.
Mireno,
Mm.
Partey,
Mm.
all these are tinkering that have brought results in terms of performances
One
with
really
Saka
be thinking
out.
and
Excuse
position in
me.
play. Oh.
With Saka out, these are three tinkering that have worked for Arsenal in these past few weeks. If you come to that set into to that defense, you know it's so bad when your Babele no go agree allow you talk waiting they happen for the team. Why would you shift a Timber or Ben White when you can move a Calafiori who is a proper centre half into that centre alongside Saliba? Saliba is not daft. Saliba is a talented centre half and he should easily pair with Calafiori in the centre. So,
easily.
but you know, there's a certain spirit that used to enter Arteta. His ancestral people will enter him and he will go and carry Partey, put him right back, go and carry Timber, put in centre half, go and carry, and you will now go and lose. They will now come and tell you that you will fight back tomorrow. You know, Arteta should just keep himself under check, swap out Magalhaes for Calafiori, leave Kelly in his position, leave Timber in his position, leave Calafiori in his position, leave the midfield the way it is, and then add the Saka in the front three. And we are good to go. QED.
Wait, I said if you tinker, you're not a tinkerer like Real Madrid. If you tinker, you get a disappointing
You
result.
don't need to be a tinkerer. That's the thing.
That is what
you
you're
don't need
trying
to be
them
a
to do.
tinkerer. But when they have had to do it, they've won games with Moreno up there. They've won games with Nwaneri there. They've won games with Trossard there.
They've won games
Yes
with
or
Partey
no?
right back.
Yes or no?
They've won games with right back.
Excuse me,
No.
I'm of the
Nwaneri is a
three positions that
Godwin,
they tinkered with.
Godwin.
They've tinkered with Nwaneri up front. Yes or no?
Godwin, and we've been the one clamoring
Of
for
the
one
three positions they've tinkered with, it's only this guy that has not worked for them.
On this show, we've always been crying out for one to start for Arsenal, either from the flanks or behind the striker, which means now a natural position, a natural habitat with that. He can drift in from the flanks, he can play behind the striker. We've always said it on the show here. So no be tinkering when he play and can't play well. Now I say he ain't supposed to be sub, but he starts can't do well. You're not supposed to cut. That is not tinkering.
Was Nwaneri never played up front instead of Trossard in that front?
As a striker,
was he not?
Never.
No. Was he not?
As a striker,
what are we saying?
Never.
Man? What
was
are we saying?
In that game, look at in the first experiment when if you notice in the first experiment when Moreno was on the bench and he came in and scored the 2 goals, it was Sterling and Trossard switching to play the number 9 role while Nwaneri continued on the flanks. You get, and when they made the sub and they brought in Moreno, he still continued on the flanks and made the cross in for Moreno to get the first goal. You get, even in the last game, he continued from the flanks and made the cross in.
I'll just ask you one question. Where did he score his second goal from?
Because person run diagonal.
No.
Because I run normally as when
it's just
against
a simple question.
Against
Yes or no?
Against Preston, where the Chelsea scored, where the Rashford scored.
Where did he score his second goal from, man?
I think in general thing about I think Arsenal has enough cover. I think Ben White can play as a centre half.
What are we saying, man?
Can play, but depending Kiwo can play there. California, if he's back from injury, he was injured from international games. So now Gabriel is out.
He still has a week to be fit and come back.
This weekend they are going to play Everton tomorrow.
Yes.
First kick off tomorrow. If they play tomorrow, they will now see the pairing first. But if not me, I go first go and arrest Saliba. For this Everton because you are not winning the Premier League.
You know why I raised this.
Thank you.
Go and arrest Saliba first.
Make
you go rest first.
Why I raised this issue is, before the international break, we were saying something about Luis Kelly training with Jude Bellingham and the rest. Why Gabriel was training with Vinicius and Rodrigo. Then Saliba was training with Clem. They should just give these people injury in training for international break. So when we come back for the Champions League, we'll be ready for Real Madrid. But all of a sudden now the Arsenal where would they use wish Real Madrid Babele, now you can go pick up injury.
For me, I think personally, it's common sense for me if it's me. I don't care who plays against
bench everybody against everything.
Just especially Saliba, one of your centre half
and the 2 midfielders. Rice and Odegaard.
Or depending, but
because
for me, you have an issue now with your pairing. So you cannot afford for Saliba to get injured because you are playing Everton. Whether you win it does not change anything.
It doesn't change the outcome of the season.
Keep the guy on the bench, make him rest for 90 minutes so that he can be fresh for Real Madrid. But tomorrow we'll see how Arteta is going to set up his team tomorrow. Okay, let's go away from the Premier League and talk about other leagues. In the Bundesliga, Augsburg is going to play Bayern Munich by 7:30. Remember, their time zone has switched back to 1 hour back now. They are now playing. For example, tomorrow's game is not 1:30 again; it's going to be 12:30. Now we are now on the same time with the Europe
Yeah.
team. So for Bayern Munich today, they are going away to Augsburg. They need to just win this game. When they win, once they win this game, then they have one step. They are one step to win the Bundesliga, and Harry Kane to win his first trophy
Yes.
for in his whole career actually.
For me, it's a game that we shouldn't be thinking about. But if they want to think about it, let them think about it. Bayern Munich winning. No
They
doubt.
should be winning. They are 6 points ahead of
No
Bayer
doubt.
Leverkusen. No, so it's supposed to be a straight win for Bayern Munich.
There's nothing like straight winning for Bayern Munich. You're going to Augsburg. There's no hope for Bayern Munich in this
Please
one.
tell me,
There's
tell
no
me,
For Bayern Munich in
tell
this
me.
one,
tell
you
me.
get it's going to be a fight. It's going to be war.
But
After losing 5 in a row against Bayern Munich, you now say you now come and use me and win trophy in this one. No, the last game they won 3-0. The other one before that was 3-2. It was constant
Whose
flogging.
fault though?
It was constant flogging.
And
In
if
this
you were
encounter,
if you were ever going to
Wait.
wake up, is it after the fifth flogging or after the first?
at some point,
If you didn't wake up at the,
you know,
if you didn't wake up after the first,
if you listen
you
to,
might
if you
as
listen
well
to,
lie down and take it.
if you listen
and
to
move
DJ
on.
mixes, there's what they call
Simple.
shocker loshe BT, shocker on the mix. This particular one, there's a shock somewhere.
There's no shock for you,
There's
Baba.
a shock somewhere, and it's going to shock you.
There's no
That
shock
Augsburg
for
might
you,
just
Baba.
get a draw in this game and end it
You know the
in a
funny
1-1.
thing. You know the funny thing. In a weird world where they tie on points, the goal difference between these two teams is light and day. What are we talking about?
It's actually massive.
So yeah, there's nothing you go explain, Tire. You go talk, Tire. It's still bad Belletti tomorrow.
The last
But they are
time
winning
Augsburg-
3-0 in this
The
encounter.
last time Augsburg won against Bayern Munich was in 2022.
Professor.
You get? Now, 2022 was 3 years ago. Trust me, in this year, somebody say in this year, they go stop Bayern
Shebi
Munich.
na tomorrow we go come.
They
We
go
go come recount your.
They go delay.
Your false prophecy.
They go delay the trophy celebration.
Bayern Munich is 6 points ahead of Bayer Leverkusen in that trophy. Harry Kane has scored 22 Bundesliga goals. He's going to end up being the top scorer in that league. Harry Kane is a player person that I like as a person because the way he plays football is his type of striker is fading out.
Of course.
You are having like people like Haaland now,
Osimhen, just tap in.
Yes, which
Play short,
that's what he was.
defender.
That's what he was before.
You know they
defenders.
talk tapping when father of tapping Ruth Van Nistelrooy dey play. Now you go
At least,
dey talk tapping.
Van Nistelrooy
Nistelrooy wey go see ball wey dey
Wait
enter
now.
there wey go put leg.
At least they said they even come back, come build up play
Come do
sometimes.
it.
You get? No, I'm not saying him na father of tapping, but yet since they come back, come follow them build up play. You get? But when they say tapping lords, how many times they see this your star player come inside, come build up play?
He doesn't need to do that, man.
That's the thing. Now he's the tapping
He
king.
no need
He's the
to.
father, the investor,
Go
the
look at
everything of
his
tapping.
goals. For all your shouts for tapping, you're just crying foul. For all your shots, for all your tapping. He hasn't had up to 10 goals via tapping.
Okay, let's see what happened for me.
How many
How many
has he scored
goals?
from? How many has he scored
Out
from
of
outside the
72
box?
goals in 2 seasons, he
How-
hasn't
how
had up
many?
to 10 tappings.
How many
Go
has he
look at
scored?
the
How many
stats.
has he scored from outside the
How
box?
many have you scored outside the front 18-yard box?
Me?
How
as a
many have
player?
you scored?
Me as a player.
How many who in your team Antonio cannot score for? Even if you bet his life on the line, he cannot score. And you will tell me that you don't need him to score. That is you settling for mediocrity. Yes?
But
You don't have a striker that can score for you. Even if Van Ferguson you went to go and hire cannot score for you. And you have somebody
How
who
will
is
he
scoring.
score? How will he
Your
score
own
from
now
the
is
bench?
tapping. Waiting tapping, consign goal.
We're talking about
If
the
your
profile
Antonio
of
score
player, and
tapping now, you'll be
my player na
rejoicing.
build-up player. I have build-up strikers in my team.
With
Even
no
the Fukul, the Danny
productivity.
Ings, they are all build-up players.
With no productivity, however.
That is the type of players that are fading out in current times. You understand? This group of players,
you should be charged to call for
the Hurricanes,
and this guy.
the Hurricanes, the Benzimas, the Danny Ings, the Mikel Antonios. These players are fading out because these players can actually come into midfield and create something
Anthony has
going
already
forward for
figured
the
out.
team.
Simple
Let's
and
see what
short.
happens in Bayern Munich game. Personally, I just like Harry Kane, even though when he was at England, he played for Spurs. I think that one of his greatest undoing. He would have moved from Manchester United or Arsenal or any other team. He would have
No, they
probably
use
won a
statue
trophy.
to lure him to
Do
stay
you
back.
understand
Now
me?
they will
I
build
think
statue for him.
they keep bringing top coaches like Conte. They will tell him stay. Conte is a good coach. They bring
Mm.
Jose Mourinho. They tell him stay. Jose is Baba. You go win trophy with this guy.
And after semi-final, you can Saka.
And they kept delaying him until he decided to move to
That's a
Bundesliga.
sad thing to
He
see, man.
decided to move last year to Bundesliga to win the Premier League with Bayern Munich. And the first time he tried it, he did not win the league.
Thanks to Xabi Alonso, but obviously this time around he's
going to
bagging
win
it.
it. Okay, let's see what happens in that game. Other games happen in this year. Genoa will play Udinese in the game there, and for Ligue 1, Nice will play Nantes in that game. That's all game happening in the European top 5. Okay, let's open the phone lines. Call us and tell us what you think about that Chelsea game, the controversies in that game. Do you think that they should rule out the Spurs goal for after checking about it took about 1 minute, about 5 minutes just to check that goal? It took a whole lot of time to check that goal. Call us and tell us what you think about that game yesterday with Chelsea versus Spurs. Okay, let's take the first call. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning, guys. In the studio.
Good morning.
Good
Name and
morning.
location, please.
Yeah, very good. Beautiful.
Okay, Pedro, what is your contribution?
Yeah, first of all, I want to congratulate my team for the hard work win yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
We people are talking about whether they should consider Tottenham go. What of the three goals that they consider?
Now offside. Now offside. Rest.
Pedro.
Now offside.
And the Tottenham team are foul now.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy for them, and we are going to try to see from that top four.
You will not commend Maresca now for delivering the 3
As
points.
Maresca deliver this 3 point, I know give him
You
flower.
supposed hail him today.
Kudos to him, he did well. Kudos to him. But when I have problem with him, he's not qualified for that top four.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank
And
you.
for today match, Bayern is going to win. Nothing.
Thank you.
They are going to, and
They go delay their
are winning that
trophy.
league.
Okay.
They are winning that league. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Call us and tell us about that Chelsea game. 0706 048 5853. 0706 048 5853. Or you can call 0915 5708347 and tell us what you think about that Chelsea game yesterday. Talking about Maresca and Chelsea, do you think that they have what it takes to continue in this direction to qualify for that top four? Because it's going to be very, very interesting, even though the games are a little bit dicey for them to the end of the season. Okay, before we'll talk about that, let's take this call. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. In the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Name and location, please. Okay, what is your contribution?
I don't know the reason why they don't give Tottenham player red card. Open boot. Now talk of that one. Huh? I don't know whether I want to break my federal leg. Very dangerous rock. So that I'm very happy for the way they played yesterday. They played yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I don't see Man City making top four.
Okay.
That's up to they must come out there. They must come out there by force.
Who go replace them?
Now you won't commode them.
This one, in case you go there second, no time go there first.
Okay.
If you make that, you will complete fourth.
Okay.
9 points.
9 points, not the other matches remain, not the 8.
8, yes.
You want win all your 8 matches, bro.
I'm straight winning. I just know we'll lose any match again.
Then Arsenal can lose 3.
That's so.
Arsenal will lose about 4 matches.
Okay.
Now.
I completely give up on your matter, bro.
Just will play with this weekend. What good team they will play?
Just, let me check. Chelsea's supposed to.
Brentford.
Chelsea is playing Brentford next.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mbemo.
Okay, Chelsea fans are going to finish second, but let's see if it's going to be possible. Let's take more calls. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning. Name and location, please.
My name is Odinma.
Okay.
Chelsea is going to replace Man City in that Man City is going to play Europa or Conference League this season.
Okay.
No, they hear me?
But Bele FC, I hear you.
Man City is going to play Europa.
Mm-hmm.
Man City will be 6th, Newcastle will be 5th,
Mm,
Chelsea will be 4th.
okay.
Don't take it or leave it. Just believe what I'm saying. Go
I
and
have left it. Don't worry, I've left
Wait.
it.
Let me understand.
Yeah,
this time when I go test either Europa or Conference League.
Wait, let me understand. If it's Europa, they
Don't
finish where
write
they are.
it in your heart.
Wait,
I
wait.
tell you when the league. I'm telling you.
Uh,
What did I tell you?
no verse. Quick
Have a nice time.
question,
very much.
question,
Thank
bro.
you
Quick
very
question,
much.
bro. They go play Conference League with Aston Villa in 7th, which occupy that position currently. To play Conference League, Aston Villa. Aston Villa go overtake Newcastle, overtake Man City. For Man City to drop, reach 7th, come play Conference League. I want to understand.
Okay, let's take more
The
calls.
one that
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Hello?
I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please. Hello. Okay,
Wow.
okay. Oh, we couldn't hear. I could hear you. Call back 0706 048 5853. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yeah. I can all this church fan and all this stuff.
Name and location, please.
This is Alex calling. Good morning,
Okay,
guys.
good
Normally.
Good
morning.
morning, Alex.
No matter how I don't Chelsea to make that top 4.
Mm.
I think it's because of that man staying down in that studio. I think I would want, some part agree with them. Because first time in Gabriela playing Europa, it should be something exciting to watch. I'm telling you, maybe the other people from the other side, from the same season on that side. I go like maybe they play that Europa League. But I want to ask, is sixth place not going to play Champions League?
No,
From England?
no, just top
5th,
4.
no, top 4.
But if one of them wins the Europa League, then they will go to
If
Champions
somebody
League.
outside the top 4,
That means if Manchester United
United win.
I think that they are having automatic 5th place to Champions League.
No.
I don't know. That thing,
if
how
you
they did that, but I think I'm seeing somewhere that 5th place
if Manchester United wins the Europa League or
then they
Spurs,
complete it
then
5.
they'll make it 5.
If somebody outside,
Yes.
As for again yesterday, that's I'm telling you, Tottenham supposed to win that game. Jero and everything that they are doing. I don't know whether it's because of home advantage. I cannot see. I cannot see because this week I don't know why they cancelled their game. Even the one that kicked this guy was his name. Kasai they kicked that guy. That guy that scored that goal. Is it
sir?
15 inside the 18, and they couldn't blow. I don't know. And that one is a fault of referee. Even the corner too. That one is a fault of Lasman. And Lasman was there. Something against Tottenham, why it was for Tottenham. But anyway, sir, what is already there has been, and I want to say this also about my team that's going to play our rival, those non-players that are wearing blue. I think come weekend, it's going to be tough for us, we and Man City, and after playing Man City, we are still going to play Lyon. This our next 2 features is going to be very tight. But thank God for most of my players returning. You understand? So it's going to be tough, very very tough. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's see.
You already lost.
Let's
Thank
see
you.
if Man U they are playing City on Sunday, so it's going to be. I know Chelsea fans want to call and start countering him, but let's see what happens. But finally, do you think that Chelsea can make the top 4? That's even the main issue.
I've been waiting for this question because some fans have been saying that they are going to win and go up to 2nd. Then Arsenal will be 3rd, Nottingham Forest will be 4th, and they are going to cover that gap. Who are you covering the gap against? Your next game is against Brentford. After that, you have Ipswich Town. After that, you have Fulham.
No, let's be calling it. You have Brentford away from home.
Yes.
Ipswich at home. After that, you're going to Fulham to play your landlord.
Yes.
So our landlord will beat you man away first of all. Now landlord they do unless you want me to increase rent. Then after that one, you now have Everton.
And you have Liverpool
After Everton, that is you have Liverpool. So it's like when senior man beat you finish, engineer brother will come beat you on top because Everton go win. You get the blue side of Merseyside will win. Then the red side of
They have
Merseyside will win.
Newcastle, Man United, and
Then
Nottingham
you're traveling
Forest.
to Newcastle, St. James Park. Then you now play against Man United that you don't know if they are going to be on that day or off. Then the last game, you're traveling to Forest. Forest, when they want cut down to build City, they fail to attempt the mission. Even then, the Unite come to cut it down and build another city, they still failed. So Forest have failed. The Man City have failed to beat Forest. Man United have failed to beat Forest. Liverpool, the champions elect, have failed to beat Forest. Now you never know where you stand. One win Forest. So it go hard for Chelsea fans to admit say this season when they look and say they finish for fifth.
Thank you.
But they no go agree. Let's just agree to disagree that you finish in fourth place.
You finish in sixth.
Let's just agree.
Sixth.
Let's just agree to disagree that you finish. Maybe you lose against Man U, against Nottingham Forest, and against Liverpool, and
yes.
you win the rest.
How you want win full and you want
Calm down. And you draw that one. So you win, you lose 3 in the last 8 games. You have only 5 possible wins. Let's be honest with what we are seeing now. You have only 5 possible wins, 3 loss, and a possible draw. Then if they now punish you, you have at least 3 loss, 5 draws, because everything go one settle for draw. 5 draws and 2 possible wins. In short, you don't even get any win at all because you don't get 3 draw, 3 lose, and 5 draws. So for this season, I just feel like Chelsea fans, anything you get, maybe you get the top 4. Celebrate it like you've won the Champions. No, if you finish top 4, celebrate like you've won the Champions League. If you finish in 5th, celebrate like you've won the Europa League. Then if you now finish outside, you just know that that's where you're destined to finish. Maybe 6th or 7th. Because the way the season is going, you're definitely, I'm sure that Ipswich Town want to punish you with a draw. Fulham want to take the 3 points as your landlord, so they will not increase them. Liverpool, Man U, Nottingham Forest is taking the 3 points. So 4 of these teams are taking 3 points. If I am not wrong, you get. So Chelsea fans, please, again, as the season they go and as you are winning, be calming down.
Lower your expectations.
Because now the same thing I posted a video before the end of season, 8 games to go. Someone said Arsenal is still going to drop at least 6 points. And we said a lie. Arsenal not drop any points. The next game was against Aston Villa and they lost that game. Their problem started there. And the guy was sure that Arsenal will lose game. And they counted the last 8 games for Arsenal. And it was Chelsea in one of those games, Aston Villa for one of those games. And the ones we expected Arsenal to lose, which is against Chelsea, they didn't lose it. It was against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And they lost their very first game in the last 8 games against Aston Villa.
Okay, let's take this final call before we end the show. Okay, we lost that call. A bit of a news now from this Champions League matters. Now for the next season, I understand what the last caller was saying. I've read that in some, but I need to confirm if it was really true. UEFA calculates which 2 leagues will be rewarded with an extra place in the Champions League next season based on points. So it means that if Aston Villa goes further in the Champions League, they will get more coefficient points in the Europa League.
That will be for next season.
That will be for next season. That means the 5th place in Premier League can qualify for the Champions League next season. So Alex, I think that story is actually true. So if Arsenal progress against Real Madrid, they will have more points. Now when they finish the competition, people that reach the semi-final and the final of the Champions League and the Europa League, they will calculate the points they have gathered and see the 2 countries, the 2 leagues that are going to award 2 extra spots in that list. That means someone that finish City might finish 5th and play the Champions League. Italy has only 1 team in the Champions League.
Italy has just 1 team.
If that team progress
to the finals, then England has 2 teams.
Spain
have 1.
France
has 1.
Okay, Lille don't come out.
Yeah, so I think only England has 1. Okay, 2. Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich.
So what are we saying? England 2, Germany 2, Italy and Spain.
Wow.
So these 4 countries can just, and it's just you pick only one out of these 4 countries.
They pick anybody that finished top 2 in those points, and it's going to be from the Champions League and the Europa League. They will join it together and award those 2 teams.
Let's stick with Man United winning or Tottenham winning the Europa League first. That one I am sure.
The thing about if one of them wins and probably Arsenal reaches the semi-final or the finals, England will have 7 teams playing the Champions League next season potentially. So it's going to be huge for England if that happens. Okay, this is how we're going to end today's show. Tomorrow we'll come back for the Premier League review. Remember, this weekend, Manchester United and Manchester City is going to play this weekend. It's going to be a Manchester derby. Throughout the weekend, a whole lot of games happening in the weekend in European top 5 leagues. Let's see what happens. But tomorrow we'll come and discuss all of those things happening tomorrow by 8 a.m. sharp. We are here live, or even on our YouTube channel at Volt FM Sports. You can join us everywhere. You can join us live on radio, or you can join us live on our YouTube channel at Volt FM Sports. Thank you once again for being part of today's show. My name is Godwin, and have a wonderful weekend. Finally, on our YouTube channel, let me close with our YouTube channel with some of the comments here. Mohammed Tanja is saying, good morning, guys. Finally, we are back in top 4. John, how market? Akachi, welcome to the show. Akachi say, hello, bro. Hello, Akachi. I can see you. Thank you for joining us. Cletus is saying, Chelsea should not be deceived. They are going nowhere. EPL match the 38 log will be okay. It's predicting top 4. Liverpool first, Arsenal second, Forest third, and City fourth position. Yes. Finally, he's saying Chelsea can never win any of these last 5 games and can only see them taking maybe 4 points from the last remaining 8 fixtures.
Come on now, that huge.
Wow.
That your Badele heavy.
Okay.
Heavy when I heavyweight.
Remember, guys, we are live every day on YouTube at Volt FM Sports.
I don't mind it.
Thank God it's Friday, so have a wonderful football weekend.
Yeah.
Hello, Enugu, and welcome to Volt 104.3 FM. We are music.
And that kind of point to and you come from my head, Kajo.
Yes, please drag against Milan. Don't lose. You get everything. Lose against Liverpool.
I can just come.
Don't play drag against Man U.
I can just come on studio. I don't know what is that man doing. This is like that.
News and politics. Enugu State Governor has successfully elected gospel and let them have dominion. The kingdom of God is within people.
Dalo no ndibani ekene mu ni bundi obanje mono una ne no
Awesome programs exclusively on